welcome to your 15-minute yoga warm-up flow. This is a great sequence to do on its own to stretch and energize your body, specifically before a workout or a longer yoga class. We'll get started here in child's pose by bringing the big toes together and spreading your knees as wide as is comfortable for you. Extend the arms straight out in front of you and rest your forehead on the mat. Right away, beginning to connect with your breath and bring awareness to your physical body. So allow your inhalations to match the same length as your exhalations. Beginning to breathe space to the backside body, the spine, the hips. And then come up on the fingertips here, lifting the elbows up off of the mat. Just getting a gentle stretch in the chest and the shoulders. And then lift your head and neck up, gazing at the top of the mat. And peel your chest away from your thighs. Place your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips, finding tabletop. We'll warm up the spine here with a few rounds of cats and cows. So spreading the fingers nice and wide as you inhale, drop the belly and lift your gaze. Tailbone lifts. Exhale, round through the spine. Bring your chin to your chest, tailbone tucks. Inhale to lift your gaze and exhale, round. Keep moving here just like this a few more times. Again, bringing awareness to your breath. And taking 2 more rounds here. And finding a neutral spine once more. Go ahead and flip your hands so that the fingers are facing your knees. Getting a wrist stretch, and this will feel different for everyone. So if you do need a less intense variation, you can bring the hands closer in towards your knees. Otherwise, keep the wrists stacked underneath the shoulders. So breathe here in this stretch, letting the head and neck hang heavy. Maybe shifting your body weight towards the back of your mat. And then gently releasing the stretch. This time we'll flip the palms so that they're face up towards the sky and then have the fingers facing each other. Again, if you need a less intense variation, you can bring the hands closer in towards your knees. Now from here, you can bend the elbows. You can shift your body weight from side to side. You can also tuck the toes and sink the hips down towards the heels. Good. Now slowly come out of the stretch, shaking out the wrists. And then planting the hands back down. Coming back into our tabletop position, starting to work through some core work. So extend that right leg behind you, keeping the hips squared. Take a big inhale as you find length through the spine. And then exhale, bring the knee to the nose as you round through the upper back. Good. 2 more times. Inhale, extend. And then exhale, round for 2. Inhale, extend. Exhale for 1. Inhale, extend. This time as you exhale, hug the right knee into the chest and then step the right foot forward at the top of the mat, coming into a low lunge. Grounding down through the right foot. As you inhale, lift the arms up overhead, sinking the hips down. Breathing here. Hugging the ribs in. Core is engaged. And then gently release the hands down to the mat and straighten out the right leg for half splits. Folding over the right leg, imagine that you're drawing your forehead towards your knee. So rounding through the upper back, breathing space into the back of that right leg. Now bend into the right knee and place your right hand inside of your right foot. Kickstand the left leg, and as you inhale, reach that left arm up overhead. So you're gently pressing your right arm into that right leg to open up the right hip. Shoulders are stacked. Coming back to your breath. Then pressing into your right hand, lift yourself up, coming into gate pose. So the right leg is straight. Place your left hand down at the back of the mat and reach your right arm up. Shoulders are stacked. Gaze up at your right hand. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, bring the bicep to ear, finding length through the right side body. Then rounding through the upper back, bring your right hand down to the mat and then walk your hands all the way towards the center and then towards the front of the mat, folding over your right leg. Feeling the stretch in the back of the hamstrings. And then lift yourself back up, walking your hands towards the back of the mat. Grounding down through both hands and then coming back down onto both knees. So coming into our tabletop pose, repeating the same thing on the opposite side. So extend the left leg behind you. Core is engaged. Inhale. Exhale, round for 3. Inhale, extend. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, hug the left knee into the chest and step the left foot forward. Grounding down through the left foot. Inhale, reach the arms up for low lunge. Relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears. Pressing the hips down towards the ground, opening up that right hip flexor. Planting the hands down, half splits. Straighten out the left leg. And then fold over the left leg. So rounding through the upper back, feel the shoulder blades draw apart. So finding that cat-like shape. Take one more breath here. And then bend into the left knee. Plant the left hand down inside of the left foot, kickstand the right leg, and reach your right arm up. Gazing up at your right hands. Pressing your left arm into the left inner thigh. Now press into your left hand to lift yourself up for gate pose. Left leg is extended, straight. Right hand comes down at the front of your mat as you reach your left arm up. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, draw the bicep to the ear, lengthening through the left side body. Nice deep stretch. And gaze down at the mat. Place your left hand down. Walk both hands towards the center of the mat, and then all the way over, folding over the left leg. Good. Now slowly walk your hands towards center and then all the way back towards the front of the mat. Coming back into your tabletop pose. Bend the elbows and lower all the way down to the ground. From here, keep the elbows drawn in. You have the option to come into either cobra or upward facing dog. So as you inhale, press into the hands to lift yourself for your back bend. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. As you exhale, roll over the toes, finding downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up high. Right away, start to pedal out through the feet. So bend one knee, straighten out the leg, and then switch. Then find stillness here in your downward dog. Grounding down through the left leg, lift the right leg for three-legged dog. Bend the knee as you stack the hips, right hip over the left hip. Opening your down dog, drawing your heel towards your glutes. And then lower the right leg down, ground down through the right foot, lift the left leg. Bend the knee, open the hip. Weight is even between both hands. Place the left leg back down. Gaze at the top of the mat. We're going to come into Malasana Yoga Squat. So bend the knees, and you can either jump or step to the top of the mat, placing the feet outside of the wrists, toes out, heels in. Sink the hips down. Keep the hands or fingertips planted on the mat. Lift the chest. We're going to find a little bit of movement here. So as you inhale, lift the hips up high. Exhale, fold, straightening out the legs. Inhale, sink the hips down, yoga squat, and then exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, press the hips down, lift the gaze, and then exhale, fold. And go ahead and find 2 to 3 more just like that, moving with your own breath. And the next time you sink your hips down, go ahead and come into Malasana Yoga Squat, bringing the hands to heart center, pressing the elbows against the inner knees, and just start to roll the neck from side to side, finding circles, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Now plant your hands down and lift your hips all the way up, coming into a forward fold. You can heel toe the feet back in. Interlace the fingers and place them at the base of the skull, finding a little bit of buoyancy here as you start to lift the head up and down, just stretching out the back of the neck. Release your hands to the mat. Take a breath here. And then bring hands to opposite elbows for ragdoll pose. Gently sway from side to side. One last breath here. Then release the hands to the mat, bend through the knees, rounding through the spine, and vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly lift yourself all the way up to standing. Grounding down through both feet, lift the shoulders up towards the ears, and then down and away. Bring the hands to heart center. Close the eyes. And we'll end our warm-up by bringing our awareness back to our physical body and back to our breath. Thank you so much for joining us.